Alright, let's dive into some history. Today, I want to break down a few key ideas from Mao Zedong's Little Red Book. Specifically, the first chapter, where Mao lays out what he thought about the people and the revolution in China. So, picture China in the mid-20th century. The country had just come through decades of war, occupation, and chaos. Mao was leading the Communist Party, and he was obsessed with the idea of the people. But who exactly did he mean? In the first chapter, Mao talks about the broadest masses of the people. Workers, peasants, soldiers, intellectuals, and basically anyone who wasn't part of what he called the reactionary classes. For Mao, these reactionaries were landlords, the old wealthy families, and anyone standing in the way of progress. In his words, the revolution was all about freeing the people from oppression and building a new society. But here's what's interesting. Mao didn't just mean fighting a war. He was obsessed with this idea that the people themselves had to be active, not passive. No sitting around waiting for someone to save them. He said the masses are the real heroes, while we ourselves are often childish and ignorant. That's a pretty wild statement for a leader to make, but it was intentional. He wanted people to feel like they owned the revolution, not just followed it. Mao also talks a lot about unity. For him, unity wasn't just about everyone getting along. Workers, peasants, even students finding common ground, working together and fighting for the same goals. If they didn't, the revolution would be weak, and the old powers would take over again. So he pushed for constant learning and self-criticism, always questioning, always improving, and not being afraid to admit mistakes. In short, Mao's first chapter is all about who the revolution was for and how it had to be led by ordinary people coming together. It was a message meant to encourage, but also to warn: if the masses don't unite and take charge, nothing changes. That's a quick look at Mao's opening ideas. It's complicated, sure, but at the core it's about power unity, and believing that real change starts with the people themselves. Thanks for listening.